I stopped being a gentleman. No more nice boy again for me. I go sing about all that I hear and see. I go give you pure meaning. I don't care what people say. I exposing the business, right or wrong. I go sing about politicians and all them musicians who plotting against me to take my crown. It's me little one, it's me little life, it's me little one, yes. You like to hear the gossip going around? Yes, it's me little one. And everything about politicians? Yes, it's me little life. You want to know who gay or lesbian? Yes, it's me little one. And who's sleeping with who, woman? Yes, it's me little life. It's me little one. It's me little life. It's me little one. So, me little you go and get.
There's a lot.
Yo. The president down at UVI making so much money, I won't lie. That man making over 1,000 bucks a day, and other professors can't get a raise in pay. The female official who thinks she's so special, drinking and driving and just don't care. They let her walk away, but arrest her the next day. These are the crooked games they play. It's me little one, it's me little life, it's me little one, yes. You like to hear the gossip going around? Yes, it's me little one. How Mr. Biggs get high position? Yes, it's me little life. After being locked up in prison? Yes, it's me little one. I want to hear your opinion. Yes, it's me little life. It's me little one. It's me little life. It's me little one. So me little you just get. Ayo. Listen, all them high police officials, their name calling in big scandal. While we sleeping, they out having a ball, smuggling cocaine in boat and all. And now they in prison, retirement still collecting. What kind of signal they sending? That is wrong. And the Rasta senator fighting to legalize ganja. I believe he's a smoker, he going too far. It's me little one, it's me little life, it's me little one, yes. Why tonight had Senate session? Yes, it's me little one. Same time as the competition? Yes, it's me little life. Not even one politician? Yes, it's me little one. To support these Calypsonians? Yes, it's me little life. It's me little one. It's me little life. It's me little one. So me little you just get. To whom it may concern, I did always talk nice about them. Me and them never had problem. Now 5 months after I leave and gone, they sing over Elima song. Everywhere that I'm passing, the people keep saying it's about me that they singing in that song. Tell them no mess with me, they have enough dirty laundry, so they better don't push me or mash my corn. It's me little one, it's me little life, it's me little one, yes. You want to sing by my Makazima. Yes, it's me Leo. Now you wake the sleeping tiger. Yes, it's me Leo. Don't vex cause I'm the crowd pleaser. Yes, it's me Leo. Now take that in your Makazima. Yes, it's me Leo life. It's me Leo want. It's me Leo life. It's me Leo want. So me Leo just get. Alveras, come forward.
Yes, Sounds of the King. There, the man Soldier, out of the BIDS and Thomas by way of Chaos and Kits. And that one is called Melee. That seems to be the order of the day today. My name is DJ Marisha, and I am here this evening, lovely Wednesday evening here in our beloved Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. And we're going to be getting into some serious conversation in a bit. But as usual, I know there might be many of you scrolling the web, as it's been a busy week for me and looking to find out what's happening this evening. So let me drop this ad that you could know what the DJ is up to.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marishaw's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and a candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marishaw, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Log on.
Yes, my people, you heard it right. That's DJ Marisha. I'm here every Wednesday evening, each and every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. Broadcasting to you live from my bunker here in our Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. At this time, I'm going to try and find my boy there, Cabo, across the road there in our sister island, Nevis. So let me hear what Cabo have to tell us this evening.
Girl Sandra, you know where you can find nice fresh local food 7 days a week, one provision and all kind of thing. Girl, where? Right down there by Shellings, by Carmen Catering Services. Girl, she opposite the bus stop. Girl, and she also cater for weddings, parties, anything you want to cater for, funeral and all. Girl, and trust me, you're gonna enjoy the food. And she also selling bites and sundaes. Opposite the Cabo shop, right down the main road. Girl, you could call 665-1494 or 663-6005 to order your food or go and pick up your food. Girl, the food will be finger licking and you get your money worth. You ain't want nothing better than that.
For sure. Well, I guess my girl Carmen skipped the queue and take the place of Cabo this evening. Well, that's my sister there, Carmen of Carmen Caterers. She's located there at the ferry terminal in downtown Bastia, right there in Shirley, Monday to Saturday from midday until about 5 p.m. On a Sunday, she's there in Boys Village in the bus stop just opposite the Agara shop there. When you check with Sister Carmen, it's little DJ Marisha sent you. Now let's take a quick listen to my boy, Cabo.
Cabo's, located at Fountain Village in Nevis, is the go-to spot for your Saturday treats. Tantalize your taste buds with his delectable Cabo's Delicacy Goat Water. Or, if you prefer some soul food, then Cabo's Punji and Fish is definitely the way to go. Call ahead and reserve at 869-663-9694. Then make your way over to Cabo's and enjoy the vibrant atmosphere while you savor your delicacy. Cabo's, we are not changing, we are only improving.
yes, Brother Cabo has the food all over, and Brother Cabo is also available for any kind of event you have. You can order your favorite goat water, fungi and fish, whatever your choice. Cabo is ready for you. Let him know DJ Maurice has sent you. And now let's take a listen to my boy there, Brother Daniel, giving you some strategies for business.
Welcome to Strategies for Business Success, right here on 2020visionradio.com and on 102.1 FM with business development advocate Daniel Arthurton. Each week, Danny will build on a foundation to ensure your success in business. Being in business can be daunting, and Strategies for Business Success can help you avoid the pitfalls. Join Danny right here on 2020visionradio.com, on 102.1 FM, and on your other social media platforms every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. That's right, Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. The time and place for your business dreams to come true.
Yes, and that's Brother Danny there on the island of Nevis Hydro Farm. And I want to say good evening to my boy, Brother Banky there, and the farm in Nevis as well. Brother Banky, I received those mangoes. Thanks for your contribution, my brother. I look forward to seeing you in the near future. I want to big up my folks there at the Island Purified Water, the man, Brother Scatter, Powell and the family there. The real water people there, Newton Ground, St. Kitts, check them out. Support businesses that support you. Now let's take a quick listen to what my boy, Brother Malvern Gums, have to say about the DJ.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're listening to DJ Marisha, playing you the best in Caribbean music.
You got that?
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're locked into DJ Marisha. Keep it locked.
Right there. And my good people, just before we move any further into the conversation, I think I want to drop a little track here. And this track, at this point in time, I think it fits me definitely, because it appears as though our tax dollar is working very good, trying to convince people that yours truly is some mercenary teaming up to come and destroy our bill of federation, which I know your people with the common sense and don't have any political cloud over your eyes would know better than that. So let me drop this track for our PM and his team that is out there trying to see if they can malign the DJ as much as possible. But the amount of calls that I'm getting and support for the people actually calling me to run for office. I never had any thought in my mind that I would want to run for office. So whatever it is that is affecting them about this DJ, they really have it bad. So let me drop this song for them.
I'm not the enemy. Are you the enemy? Who is the? Are you the enemy? I'm not the enemy. Who's the enemy? Enemy, 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 enemy. Whoa, da la la, la 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 la. I'm an educator, your historian, the unpaid advisor to government and opposition. I bring you songs of levity, party and social commentary. In other lands, I am a cultural icon, but due to my proclivity to expose the ills of my country, they designate me an enemy of the state. But it's my love for country that make me question the things I see going wrong, like the crime rate that keep on going up, that the PM says going down. Is he take a corrupt tip-off cop and made him the deputy? Between he and Edme, the police force can function effectively. Police used to work for 8 hours straight and went home to take a rest. Now this 4 hours on, 4 hours off, got the force in a mess. Is you who handcuff the police? Now they can't control the crime rate. So don't call me an enemy of the state. You want the head on a plate. So tell me who's the real enemy of the state? I'm not the enemy, are you the enemy? Who's the enemy? Tell me. I'm not the enemy, are you the enemy? Who's the enemy? They tell me tourism is the lifeblood of the country. Still we keep increasing the budget to that ministry. But the more we spend on that industry, is the less result we do see. Now the whole country, it seems, waiting desperately till Marriott open its doors. 40,000 plus on pause. Can one hotel save us from catching hell? Oh well, what is my love for country that made me question the deal they gave Royal P? A $400 million hotel with their own electricity. If we upgraded we power plant, they would buy the current from we. $20 million or more yearly to sweeten the treasury. Then they tell me both are resigning, he not taking another turn. I said a jump and prance as a good riddance, for there's hope for tourism. His performance in that industry got hoteliers desperate, yet he treats me like an enemy of the state. From 500 ships in 95, now 158. So tell me who's the real enemy of the state? Enemy. Are you the enemy? I'm not the enemy. Who's the enemy? Are you the enemy? Enemy. Minister of Justice, oh, can you tell me why Angela Innes is not paid what the courts decree? When she was making her contributions, you were nowhere to be found. Now she's grunting while you're buying up condominium. You also got Consummate Chum, a first female parliamentarian, still can't get her gratuity and pension. But it's my love for country that make me question this bold-faced hypocrisy. Your actions are simply degrading the women of this country. I hope that Jess and Henry Martin don't support your policy. For what goes around come back around, no matter whom you may be. These women serve with distinction and should get their due respect. Not scandalize and victimize. To this action I object. Your actions, Mr. A.G., means all women must subjugate, and that makes you an enemy of the state. If you taking orders from Dougie, it means you eating from the same plate. So tell me who's the real enemy of the state? Oh, watch me now. I'm not the enemy. Are you the enemy? Who's the enemy? I'm not the enemy. Who is the enemy? Tell me. Almost every weekend is party, party, party. Soon we'll start the campaigning with Berries and Byron Lee, while the bell tolling at SSMC and tourism catching hell. One night at JN Fast costing more than a hotel. Then IMF tell Douglas Plain he must raise taxes again. So who got cocoa in sun? Look out for rain. Yes, it's my love for country that make me question the state of the economy. We could well use the 36 million you spent on the inquiry, and yet you take up the best golf course and sell out to Royal P. Bota was not in favor of that one, and with him I must agree. You are the leader of this country, but to lead effectively, you must listen to suggestions from Calypsonian like me. If I'm the only one in the country to pinpoint your mistake, does that make me an enemy of the state? Sandra Byron no longer she knows I don't deal with hate. So maybe you're the real enemy of the state. The Jew is out on you. And you know what? You ain't come to the circus yet. We're still waiting. Are you the enemy? Who's the enemy?
Yeah, I think you is the enemy. Good evening there, Brother Benta. I saw you on screen. Are you ready to rumble? My good people, we are at the crossroads here in our beloved Federation. At a serious crossroads with the politics and the governance of our beloved Federation. And I cannot tell you how we get here, why we're here. But I can assure you that I am going to stay the course in ensuring that our country get fair and just representation from the people that we pay to lead us. Brother Benta, you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Good evening, sir. Welcome.
Good evening.
We're gonna get straight into the business this afternoon. Lots to talk about. Could you give a quick synopsis of who you are so that the folks online could know who I'm speaking to?
Sure, and good evening to those within the diaspora of St. Kitts Nevis and the world around, because I know that this being listened to throughout the United States as well. My name is Oakland Benta, a former chief of police, former senator of the U.S. Virgin Islands, former vice president of a telecommunication corporation, and an individual who handles many other aspects of investigation in many other places.
Thank you, sir. Well, you came here some time back as a friend of the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, and we had some good conversation. Tonight, you, in my view, you're still back as a friend of St. Kitts Nevis, but in the minds of the wrongdoers, we are labeled mercenaries. So we're going to have some serious conversation. But
mercenaries?
Mercenaries.
Okay.
So we that is what we have been labeled as here by the current leader.
Well, when you say we labeled, what you mean by?
There is some article on social media, and it's amazing that our Prime Minister have not had the time to follow up with me to speak about the people's business that I spoke to him about and other issues that he should be dealing with. But in the last couple of days, he found the time to out there parading social media, trying to convince the people of our beloved Federation, home, regionally and internationally, that myself and you basically joined forces with some other people to extort monies from him. We're going to get into that conversation shortly.
Let me be clear before we begin. You're saying that the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis has alleged that yourself and I have somewhat conspired with some other entity to defraud the government of St. Kitts and Nevis?
The articles are there on social media. You can check it out.
And unfortunately, I haven't had the time to spend and review anything on St. Kitts. I've been very busy with the other areas of which one of the lead investigators on crimes within the U.S. Virgin Islands. And as such, I've been spending a lot of time with many other areas of the investigation. And thus far, we've arrested over 8 individuals in the U.S. Virgin Islands, from individuals who likewise was a commissioner of police, individual who was commissioner of park and recreation, manager, director of the Office of Management and Budget of the U.S. Virgin Islands, individuals who were placed in positions within the Department of Education, along with members who were co-director, assistant director of the Virgin Island Housing Finance Authority, and along with some other civilians, and more to come. Now, I don't want to be remiss in not understanding that you're saying that the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis is alleging that I, Oakland Benta, and I guess you said yourself, but he's alleging that I, Oakland Benta, has conspired or tried to defraud the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. So I just want to be clear where we're going with the discussion.
I would recommend, I have not had a chance myself to listen to the Prime Minister and his podcast at his round table, as I call a square table. But some clips have been sent to me, and there's a lot of stuff on social media. I am laughing about the whole situation because as much as St. Kitts is dealing with at the moment, the 99 problems that St. Kitts and Nevis have, the 99 problem that Prime Minister Joe has, DJ Marisha is not one of them. And as our conversation progressing a bit, we will get there. But I just want to play two clips. In recent time following the election of the new Labour administration, I have a whole bunch of clips of myself interviewing Prime Minister Joe in a very casual and understanding way. One of the things I can recall well, and anyone who has been following this podcast would remember, prior to Dr. Joe winning his seat, I told him on this podcast, Mr. Prime Minister, Dr. Joe, I support you. We are campaigning to get rid of the Team Unity administration, specifically Dr. Timothy Harris. We challenge him to be a corrupt party or a corrupt individual based on the things that we were saying. That's what we challenge him on. As a matter of fact, the first clip that I was going to play, let me try and make an adjustment because I like to do things in order. And I don't want to mislead the people. So let me drop back to a different clip that folks could really understand and follow the conversation. I want to just set things and don't have the people understanding the conversation this evening. So let me drop down to this clip. This is a clip from Brother Ian Patch's Live at Show Street Talk, speaking about people claiming the former Team Unity administration to be corrupt. So take a listen.
Under Team Unity and Timothy Harris, questions are also being asked about the level of corruption, money laundering, and fraud. And some have ventured to say it was huge.
Okay. That is coming from a former member of that administration who has a talk show. I was one of those people who was lobbying for change that was singing those tunes. During that time, at no time I received any backlash where the Honorable Timothy Harris came at me on social media trying to destroy my character. At no time did the Honorable Timothy Harris sent me any demand letter threatening for lawsuit. And believe me, anyone can tell you, I came at Timothy Harris hard with everything, with the kitchen sink, the toilet bowl, the toilet tank, the bathtub. I throw everything at Timothy to ensure a Labour Party get elected with the leadership of Dr. Joe. Now, let's move forward. Once the government was elected, I had the same conversation with Dr. Joe, that I do not want him to go in, take government, and repeat or do worse than that administration. Because according to my grandparents tell me, when your own lies bite you, it bites you hard. And if I have to come at you, it's going to be harder than what I went after Timothy Harris. Well, in terms of what my grandmother said about your own lies biting you, it bites you hard, is a true fact. Because within the last 24 to 48 hours, my own lies, the current Prime Minister, he bite harder than a lice. Because this gentleman, when he should be concentrating and doing the work of the country, he's on social media and out there trying to destroy my character. There's nothing that anyone can say about me to stop me from what I am doing here. My life is an open book. You can spread my life story on Church Street. It doesn't matter to me. If there's any perfect person out there in this world that have not done anything in the past that they wish they could have done differently, I have not got a parking ticket, I have not stumped the toe, our rain have not wet them, I wish them blessings. But this DJ has no regret about anything at all that he have experienced in life. Everything has been a learning experience. And this too, with Prime Minister Joe, is a very learning experience. The hardest experience I had to experience in life. Because, Mr. Benta, you know how I feel about Prime Minister Joe. You know about the things people was trying to come at him with since he became Prime Minister. This is why I got you involved. To protect him.
You need to repeat that again, because it needs to be understood. An individual of a caliber of mind to engage in any investigation, it requires that I trust where the entity is coming from, and that there's an understanding that once I begin to investigate, that I leave no stones unturned. And it needs to be clear, I heard you said it, that you invited me. And the reason why you invited me, you need to let them know, because you had the entire appreciation for your nation and wanted to make sure that your countrymen were protected and that the right things were being done. And as such, that is how you were able to solicit my assistance for my wherewithal in understanding of the world around when it comes to data, auditing, financing, and investigation in a whole. So I am a little taken aback, because you have been the person, you will defend the Prime Minister from heaven to hell if you have to, based on our engagement with for the past several years, going back to 2022. So for me to hear this today, and I have all the utmost respect for the government and governance of St. Kitts and Nevis, I have the utmost respect as to why you came to me and asked for my intervention and assistance, because a lot of people are not quite familiar with, sometimes you're committing an offense and you don't know. And on your end, it was more to make sure that your esteemed leaders and individuals who are placed not only in government, but to apply governance, understand the rules and how fast some things can impact your territory or your diaspora if certain things aren't addressed appropriately. So I haven't heard the Honorable Prime Minister or any of his cabinet member say certain things now that you're explaining. It was one that I make sure I cleared, and I thought that was over, where there was some confusion as far as who I was, because you mentioned MSR and some other people. I don't work for MSR. I track things down in many other areas of investigation. I don't answer to MSR. MSR is a whistleblower, a federal whistleblower. I track people down from state to state who have committed offenses and are hiding in places and so forth. I find what many cannot find when it comes to other application of corruption. But in some instances on this end, I am very, very taken aback, because I can remember in 2022 during the campaign, and I love every single individual who ran for an office in any political office. And I think the backbone of politics came really severely out of leaders out of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I can say that very profoundly, because a lot of what's been done and measured within the Caribbean today came from leaders out of St. Kitts and Nevis. So I don't know what a hard core discussion is and what is arousing or has arisen such vexation or vexing issue that they are at that level. But I'll listen to you to see what it is that's happening, and then we'll dive into more or less. But I want to keep it a certain way, though, because where I sit, because of the investigations that's going on, there's some things that I can speak about, and there's some things that I cannot. If I knew this was going to go into the ministry and so forth, as far as what's being said, now within me knowing who is who, I would speak only on the issues on the surface of investigation and what A to Z means. I would not bring the names in, all right? So that way we keep the status quo of the confidentiality of whomever, anybody may be who would be indicted or arrested for that time that when that is done. But I am really disappointed to hear, if this is what's being said, that the Honorable Prime Minister Drew had digressed into this pattern of the discussion. And that, like I'm saying, I'm hearing it from you. and I'll listen to the furtherance of what you will be explaining this evening.
Okay. I always do my best to tell the truth, and only the facts. And knowing the entities and the individuals all around the world that may be listening to this podcast, there are many things that I would not discuss, and there are many presentations that I would normally make, I will not make. So I am just trying to bring it to your attention that since Monday evening to now, there's a lot that is taking place in our Bill of Federation. At the center of it is our good Prime Minister spreading his fake news. Something that I know we campaign against. They're even going to Parliament. When there was a WhatsApp going around about my cousin, the tourism minister, involved with some criminal activities of some folks that got murdered. He was upset. He wanted to get people's device. He wants to indict, extradite them from wherever they are for trial in St. Kitts and Nevis and the works. However, to my surprise, our beloved government that I fight to get elected is engaged in those same practices. I don't have any issue with it in the sense that at least I know now, as of yesterday, the love that Prime Minister Joe has for Mr. Mauricio. Because the real issue here, and I can say this, when the MSR matter came to light and Mr. Martinez reached out to me and told me, Mr. Mauricio, suppose I tell you that individual that you're supporting so much that you will put your life on the line for, that person is corrupt. Corrupt in a sense that while he's out there beating his chest in Parliament and on his round table about the former Prime Minister Timothy Harris did something criminal or corrupt by giving away 5,500 shares for the prison project, which equal to 22,000 passport, 22,000 new citizens to our federation. Suppose I tell you that the individual that signed off and the majority of those passports is your Prime Minister, Dr. Terence True. I said to him, show me the facts. I will not believe that our good Prime Minister will be misleading myself and our country like this, because we had the conversations about misleading the people, misleading myself, lying to the country, lying to the people. And as I dig deep and I realize I'm finding certain things that is beyond my reach, Mr. Benta, I reach out to you and ask you to take the baton. And you did. You gave me a call and told me, Mr. Mauricio, the issue here, it's deeper than you know, and it's affecting more people. It's involving more people within your government structure than you may think. I said to you, Mr. Benta, I do not want to hear anything else. Will you come to St. Kitts and meet with the Prime Minister if I set up a meeting? Didn't I ask you that?
Yes, you did.
Didn't I set up the meeting?
You set a meeting up.
Didn't you come to St. Kitts?
Yes, I did.
Okay. We're going to get deeper into the conversation in a bit. Let me play this clip. Thank you, Honorable PM. You're closing. I know you have a list of stuff to run today. Go ahead.
Yes. Good. Thank you very much. And I look forward to speaking to you again and your wonderful audience and the tough questions that they have put forward, even their comments and support. As I've always said, that in a democracy, you have to expect people to ask questions. And if in a democracy and people are not asking questions, that is not a democracy. And if you're in a democracy and people don't disagree with you as the leader, that is not a democracy. And if you're in a democracy and people don't have comments, that is not a democracy. I may not agree with your comments, and sometimes the comments may not have all the information in it, but nonetheless, it is a democracy. I just ask people with their freedoms to be responsible, because with freedom, you have to have the other part of it, which is responsibility. But nonetheless, I welcome our democratic system, and I think this is the best system that we can have, and that is why we want to strengthen it.
Okay, Brother Benta. That is the Honorable Prime Minister during one of my interviews with him on this podcast. Just as I speak to him on my podcast, I speak to him the same way in person. I am frank with him, and I let him know my position. He have always said to me, Jeffroy, ask the question. Whatever you want to ask the question. And I do. I realized that I was getting lies. I was being misled. So I had to dig deeper because I did not want to continue supporting someone that is misleading me and the country. That was not what I voted for. That's not what I campaigned for. I'm going to drop one more clip. And following that clip, we're going to move into the next segment. You remember that famous meeting at the Prime Minister's office?
I do.
We're going to go there. Stand by.
You need to expand it, you need to build it. And so therefore, we are now dealing with the issue of energy, water, technology, and getting the country back on track. Of course, we met a lot of issues to do with the procurement, that people didn't follow any rules, they broke all the rules, a lot of corrupt practices in almost every department, so, especially the development bank, what we actually met there. And therefore, we know that the country needed to be put back on a footing of stability, sustainability, and respect. We have to get back out to the international world and tell them that St. Kitts and Nevis is back. St. Kitts and Nevis is a country that they can respect once again and do good business with. We know that a lot of banks did not want, and still they do not want to do full business with Development Bank because of the bad history, but we are getting that back on track so that we can be back on track we can be back in the good books rather of the international financial institutions so that we can make sure that we get the bank in a state to really deal with the needs of our people. And so as you go across, lack of water, lack of energy, the financial institutions that we have to make sure that they get back in good stead to do the social programs and protect them, and so to start back on, open up the country, open up the economy, get back on the stage of growth and development and so forth. So those are a number of things that we had to do as soon as we get back in. Of course, there would have been some delay in some of the things that we want to do, but we know we have provided thousands of jobs thus far. We have stabilized the economy. The economy the footing is very strong as such, and we are looking forward to a full recovery for 2024. And so I'm asking people to be patient with the St. Kitts Nevis Labor Administration, which is just a mere 12 months old and is really pushing to make sure. But so for the future and immediate future, we see excellent things that are coming. But I would also like to touch on the CBI program and doing things to protect our passport and our visa-free access. That has been a tremendous amount of work that we had to do, DJ. People don't know a tremendous amount of work. A lot of things happened that should not have happened, DJ, but we were able to do what we had to do to make sure that we protect our passport. As you know, even the Canada partial visa that we have now, we have not gone back to full visa access. And I saw something going around on the internet to basically speaking out against what we have achieved. But with the Canada issue, that is a tremendous achievement, because now you can enter into Canada through here through an ETA. That's just signing up, just a few hours before the flight, so that you are clear for the flight. Before, you had to travel out to get a visa to travel to Canada. Now, if you had applied for a Canadian visa the last 10 days or have an American visa, then by ear you can enter into Canada, filling out an ETA. And so therefore that situation has improved, but it is not perfect, of course, as yet. And so we had to do significant amount of work. When it comes to crime and violence, as you know, there was a spike in crimes and gun violence. It has dropped significantly. It is not where we want it as yet, but we have been able to put solid, good measures in place to stabilize that situation. And I want to thank the commissioner, and of course the commander of defense force. And we have two experts who are with us, Dr. Rollins and Dr. Powell, both who are citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. They have chosen to take pay cuts from wherever they work to come to St. Kitts for some time to help us to stabilize our national security apparatus. So that too is on the way. And we have done tremendous work and we have seen benefits thus far. So it's almost every single sector that we have here in St. Kitts and Nevis. We had to go in and do significant work because of the significant damage that had been done previously. And so we are basically poised and set really to have excellent 2024. Tourism is expected to bounce back fully in 2024. Our construction, our major capital projects are about to set off. That includes the road to St. Peter's, which is a major project, which would last over, which will take maybe over a year. We have, of course, the housing. We have already launched the housing, and we're going to be building a lot of houses here in St. Kitts and Nevis as well, and that is going to stimulate the economy. We are now expanding agriculture, which we are looking at the orange economy, as you see what we did with the music festival. Right now, we have CONCACAF going on, and then we have CPL and so forth that will be taking place in St. Kitts and Nevis, the golf tournament to take place in October. Then we're going into the Christmas season, which will be an active season as well, with tourism back to full steam, and the expansion of course, the airlift to bring people into St. Kitts and Nevis. So in a sense, we have really set the foundation now to move forward. When it comes to healthcare, there have been tremendous improvement in healthcare as well. And I want to say, DJ, before allow me to ask your questions now, is that our nationals in the diaspora, they have been playing an active role. We have been, and I have been searching them out, because I've said the experts that we need exist among our people in the diaspora. For example, at the hospital, we had Dr. Ted Hanley. He's from the diaspora. I've asked him to come in to help us with our healthcare system to get an accredited hospital. DJ, you have been in the healthcare system in terms of dealing with standard procedures, that type of expertise we need in the hospital.
Is that some people get to
So, Brother Benta, I play that clip to continue my conversation, because before we continue, there are going to be some haters online trying to distract and trying to shut the smoke screen up. My campaign to get rid of the former administration was made clear at a round table with a team of people that I had that used to be on this podcast with me weekly, that my work to elect the Labour Party, I have no intention of being a part of anything other than that. My job is done. As a matter of fact, the WhatsApp group that I had with that group, I can recall the election was on the 5th of August 22. The Labour Party declared winner on the 6th. The following week, even before the inauguration, I sent a message to the team. Gentlemen, thanks for your service. The purpose of this group chat has completed. I do not know what you guys want to do. Should I delete it or not? I was told no, to leave it. Couple weeks into the year, I realized that individuals once in a while send a message what they might need some information or whatever. So there was no need for the group chat, so I deleted it. Now, I was in St. Kitts and supposed to be leaving St. Kitts on the 8th. I was scheduled to leave St. Kitts on the 8th of August. I didn't plan to attend any inauguration. I've never attended one. Apparently, Dwyer get wind of the fact that I was leaving on the 8th, and he called me. I was here in my bunker. Jeffrey, I understand you're going to be leaving in a couple of days, and the team that you work with, we are asking you to stick around if you can. You cannot put in all of this work and leave before the inauguration. He said, whatever the cost is to pay the difference on your ticket or buy you a new ticket, we will pick up that tab. I told him I really don't want to put them to that expense. And he said to me, Mr. Mauricio, I am saying to you, you might not realize it, but you have put in a lot in getting us to where we are. We want you here. I said, okay. Went out to check the cost of the ticket. Mr. Benta, a one-way ticket from here to New York at the time would have cost over $1,200. More than the $600 I pay round trip coming there. That would not be any use if I don't fly on the day I'm supposed to fly. I reached back out the door. I told him the cost of the ticket. He said, Mr. Maury, sir, it doesn't matter. Just let me know the cost. We are going to pay for your ticket. I said, okay. I went back and I checked again over the couple of hours I had to use. And I find something connecting me, saying it's Miami, Washington, New York. Basically overnighting in an airport, sleeping in an airport in Washington. I say all of that to say this. I was all in with everything and do whatever I had to do to ensure that this country gets the best possible representative. We met at a home on the 30th and the 12th, which is the Friday before the inauguration. The Prime Minister met with the team that I work with to do the Get Rid of Them project. And when I said to him that I should have been gone, but these guys paid for my ticket to stay, so thank them. He said, Jeffrey, you can't put in all this work and just leave. So I'm happy that you decide to stay. So all right, fine. We was discussing certain things, and at the time, the Prime Minister was speaking about his cabinet that he selected, and the AG, there was 3 people who he think what's our input in who should be selected. And he told us what he decided which one he wanted. And I supported the AG that he selected because my past experience with that individual, I think he is a good person. Now, fast forward from the inauguration, I gone back to New York. I did a post and put it on my Facebook today because some people seems that they don't understand when they're talking about I wanted to suck labor breasts and want whatever from labor. I benefited from labor because of Dr. Drew since the government been elected. That's because of Dr. Drew initiating things towards me. He showed his appreciation. Other than what Dr. Drew did yesterday and what is currently taking place, I don't have any issue with the young man. Whatever they do to me will come back to them 24 over. What I was surprised at last night when somebody sent me a clip is that there was a team of people who was a part of the team Unity, and there was campaigning against the Labour Party, by extension most of Dr. Drew. Everybody's saying he can't win his seat where he wants to be Prime Minister and blah, 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 and I stayed the course with him. There's a young man by the name of New York Joe who led the squad against me and against Dr. Drew. I explained to Dr. Drew when he came to New York and this team of people huddled around him and trying to show him the best face, the party and the good things. I point them out to him, Miss Dr. Drew, you're the president, the Prime Minister of the Federation. Keep in mind these people that is now up in your face. Your very good friend that you say you grew up with, hugging you up and taking picture, who told me that Dr. Drew was not a nice person. He was than Timothy. Not only she will not support Dr. Drew, she's not going to support the Labour Party for whatever reason. I don't have a problem with all of those things. But what surprised me last night when I look at that clip is to see that the same people that came after me in the campaign via social media went after Labour Party. This same New York Joe had contact with someone in the bank in New York. However he got it done, was able to get a photocopy of a check for $93,000 on that check, telling people how corrupt Dr. Douglas was and how much money he has in the bank over there. Lex Consulting is doing money transfers. They have monies all over the place. in Dubai and wherever. This is the Joe. Lennox Libo, and Keon could attest to this if you want to. Because Lennox was in his barber shop where I get my hair cut. Anybody walk into that barber shop that will listen to Joe, he got the man financial records, they spread out to show them. He hand his information to the team unity administration. I guess to avoid any lawsuit or any backlash. Maybe Timothy never used it, but he presented Dr. Douglas and his kids and his family banking information to the team unity administration. These people went after me hard. They went after Douglas harder. They went after the Labour Party harder to stay in office. You're going to tell me now that for whatever reason, without even communicating with the person that's been there for you, like I said last time on my podcast, I would have done anything to defend Dr. Joe. I would have given up my life for Dr. Joe until yesterday. You're going to tell me that Prime Minister Joe and his team is allowing these same mercenaries to come into his camp to malign and distort and try to mess up my character over what? And I can say Prime Minister and his team, you know, because today people called me that they're getting WhatsApp messages, links of this gentleman last night trying to malign my name. I get fired for stealing from a job. Brother Benta, I have people, I was a union rep at my job. I have people that steal a little piece of copper cable to go down the road and sell it, because copper is a very expensive thing in New York, to buy the drinks and the smoke. These guys was caught. These guys was arrested. If somebody in my capacity who was a union rep that is always giving management a rough time, always on the back, cost them thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, they would have had me arrested. Tell them, go and show my criminal record. I am with the NYPD. A very hard background check was done. I challenged them before, you know. Let any one of them go and take a background check and see what you find. Tie all of us into a chair and put that polygraph machine on us. See who is telling the truth. I don't have to come here tonight and represent anyone about my life, my financial status and whatever. When you came to St. Kitts, is at the invitation of Jeffrey Marisha. I did it in the interest of the country, the people. And I said to you, I cannot be a middleman. Whatever you found through your investigation, I want you to give it directly to the Prime Minister. When I tried to get to the Prime Minister, not getting to him, I went to the NSA, Mr. Rollins. Mr. Rollins got back to me and said he spoke to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister said he's going to call me. He know I have his back. I said, no problem. When the Prime Minister reached out to me, I was in New York attending my baby girl grandmother's funeral. I explained to him I was in New York. He said, okay, when you come next week, we can meet. You was running for Senator in the Virgin Islands around the same time. The election was the following week, right? I think following Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay. You flew into St. Kitts the weekend before your elections.
Correct.
I want to believe that your commitment to me was that important that you could leave your campaign where you're running for Senate in the Virgin Islands to come to St. Kitts to meet with the Prime Minister. Mr. Benta, the meeting took place. I'm going to let you tell the people what transpired in that meeting.
First of all, again, to the people who are listening, you guys, I think I'm missing something because I'm not hearing the same Marisha. Did I miss something? Did something happen? Because of course, our dialogue, probably into monologue at this point, but our dialogue now concerning the government and the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis is changed to something else. So I just need to be clear.
Okay, let me give you the gist of it, and you can fill in where you want.
Okay.
You are aware that following that meeting, the Prime Minister came on his podcast or his round table and made a claim that someone came to his office and tried to shake him or the country down for $40 to $100 million on behalf of MSR. You remember that statement?
I remember that, yes.
Okay. You remember me coming on this podcast and said that didn't take place?
Correct. And I think we cleared it. And maybe for the people listening, because I've met with many people throughout the diaspora of the Caribbean. And pretty much the intention was to educate that you have a nation that is pretty much observant as far as its national security. Everything within its backyard for vantage point in wars. Let's be clear. Civil unrest, whether it's digital or man-made devices, and we have a serious issue within our diaspora of the Caribbean. In the meeting, as was said, and I heard the commentary, certain things were said, and I called the Attorney General's office, make sure, because terms used as far as shakedown and so forth, that's corruption. And with it being said, if that's what was said, not if, but being that it was said that way, I called the Attorney General's office and made myself available for an arrest, because that's a crime. And I don't play when it comes to what I do. Of course, in making contact with the Attorney General's office, Mr. Wilkins' office, and ask, I'll pay for my own way and come to St. Kitts and make sure that what's necessary to be done would be done. And at the same time, I made the other powers to be of whom I represent as well aware, because in that conversation, I think there was more hostility than anything else. And more so, I thought that was over. And I'm hearing you repeating it today, but I thought that was over. I think there's more to be said today. And I'm just going to give an overview for your listening audience, Mr. Marisha, if you will, because I'm hearing some other stuff that I have to speak to you offline under an oath of some of the things you said. I wasn't aware of that you were so familiar with. And as such, I want to make sure that once we compile all that you have engaged me into participating and assisting in, that due process is really applied like it should be. Every person who, based on our investigations, based on what has been uncovered, I would say based on the citizen by investment that became a concern for everyone within the United States, and should be for the entire diaspora of the Eastern Caribbean, where it is known that there were individuals who are coming through the programs who were money launderers and criminals and many other things that goes with it. We had bomb technician, we have warfare chemist who came through under the program, and we have individuals building devices in places around our diaspora. When it comes to the protection of the United States of America, I offered up, as you know, for the Prime Minister to work closely for making sure that they clear the background of these individuals, that through the Division of Homeland Security, that's an agency that he can request the assistance of in conducting the due diligence on the individuals of whom are coming through the program. And my intention was in my visits, because as you know, when I began to look into these matters, I said a few things to you in precautions to be aware, because you know I'm a stickler to the book and to make sure that certain things are done in accord to protocol, and it's not one that goes into gossip. I think right now as I'm listening, I can say this. In the entire, and these are court documents that people can purview, it is known that a lot of the officials of the Eastern Caribbean and many other places, but since we're speaking about the Caribbean side of it, that there are a lot of individuals who are in the government atmosphere through records that are now within the Department of Justice that were subpoenaed by the courts by another entity who have filed claims, One of my measures when I came to St. Kitts was trying to neutralize any furtherance of any issue within our diaspora, because we live here. And we have men who are within the government now and who have left, who are very brilliant individuals. Men that have substance to run a country. Men that understand the protocols and what is required to build their country. Men who have the ability and the wherewithal to do it. Sometimes some people go astray. Sometimes when people see certain things and they figure, well, I should be a part of it, I need to have more, especially when the government is already paying you for a service. It happens. My goal was to neutralize that whole atmosphere, because for some, education is one thing, but understanding that's clear brings more fortitude to understand why you're sitting where you're sitting, which is there in position of leadership. But tonight, with all that we have, and of course, I did say to you that I have to sit with you. And I must make sure that when I sit with you, I have you under an oath for our discussion. I'm sorry to say that to you, but you said so much here tonight. And I realized that this discussion tonight, which would have been one of growing an economy, ideas, issues, and answers to fortifying an economy. Now, this has taken me into an investigation. And some of the things I would say, Mr. Marisha, that you're mentioning tonight, I was not aware of. And I could see that the real close-knit to individuals as you had discussions prior. But as you infuse some of the information that leads somewhere else, I say to you that this is another venture of another level of an investigation. But I will say this, though, that through the bank records or through the court subpoenas that went to the banks, bank records were obtained for many ministers of the Caribbean. Many. Bank records in excess of millions of dollars that has derived from many other things to include the Citizen by Investment Program. And as such, in looking at who the individuals are, which I wouldn't mention here tonight, it is one of those things that I would say to members of the diaspora of the Eastern Caribbean in governance position, as government elected officials, that careful heed must be applied, and that individuals who have used their families to be the individuals of the bearers of those accounts, I mean, it's sad. And it's a heavy heart for me tonight to speak with you tonight, learning something different. And I think more than anything else, for our citizens, hard-working citizens of the community who work hard, and the finger pointing back and forth, that too is going to come to an end pretty soon. I am very disappointed that the conversation could not have been, and this is really not the format for the in-depth conversation that I think where you want to go with it tonight. But what I see in you, Mr. Marisha, is there's a lot of pain. I don't know what happened yet, but there's a lot of pain. And I think more so, I'm going to make another push because I am leading a team of individuals. And the connotation of labeling one for now is not one that I will do. I'd leave it for when the warrants are served and issued, that then it becomes a public document on the indictments. But I think more so, because I look at the people of our diaspora, especially St. Kitts and Nevis, for the interactions I've had, how the people were, how in 2022, when you were moving a campaign, and I'm hearing some dissension, I don't know if that's what it is, or there's been some scar tissues. I don't know if there was a fight, if there was an argument, something that have created the division. But I want to bring the people of the nation back to some clarity, though, that this is not a game. And I don't get caught up in petty finger pointing for many reasons. And I know that there was an AI recording on the same discussion that we've had at the Prime Minister's office and the shakedown. But I think we had bridged that when I spoke to the Attorney General's office and offered myself to turn myself in to be arrested if that's the case. And to hear what I'm hearing, that there's something that was said and I heard it, I realized that now with what's happening, and I'll just give a rough overview because I want to send you a ticket. You have to come and sit on top with me. Because at the end of the day, when we try to conceal information a certain way, it comes back sometimes to bite you. And the biting here tonight, as I'm listening, there are many fractions to information that's not or was not had. And at the same time, some of the players and how some of the action took place where I was not privy to on the local end, but I am now. And the go forward for a nation that has been deprived of many economic stimulation in the fraction of dividends that came in, or funds that came in that could have been applied to dividends, to the real economic growth of the countries, many of the funds went elsewhere. And those things will be coming out in a little while. But I am, as you heard me tonight, I am really disappointed. And you know how I work. You know what I'm about. We have an individual by the name of Jeffrey Epstein. And as a result of my investigation, now this entire issue with Jeffrey Epstein, which many people laughed at, is now a significant case throughout the world. There's a section that deals with P. Diddy, but I won't get into that right now. And then, of course, the elected officials within the U.S. Virgin Islands of the years of investigation, and now it's coming to the other level where arrests and more to come will come. Things that people didn't believe would happen. So I would have loved to have heard you tonight, as we were spoken about sitting down and talking and trying to correct, because there can be a turnaround of many things, of funds that's owed to the country that I could have assisted with. Now, it's not a tap in the wrist or pat in the wrist. Some actions would have been taken, but the justification for your community, the benefit would have been returned to the country. It would have. We could have worked the formula with individuals who are involved while sitting and educating them, that things would work a lot differently. I am hurt. I am. I believe in the men and women who lead your country. I don't believe in corruption, but I truly believe that they had the empathy to really manage. What led them astray? Some. What was the catalyst that created, is it greed? What was the catalyst or introduction by others that have educated the formula to deceive? What was the catalyst that made one believe that to remain superior because you can live a certain life and leave your people impoverished is a way to go when the opportunity exists under the program, which was created for what it was intended for? So, Mr. Marisha, because of where this conversation is, and I think this is another explosion. I don't think you realize what was said here tonight by you. I don't think where it takes my channel to, but when I investigate, I leave no stones unturned. And right now, the puzzle of some of the things I was looking for has just been matched. And I think your honesty, your sincerity for your community is strong. I think that your love and your compassion is real. I think seeing your nation grow, from what I've heard you said before, and even to Prime Minister Drew, was all in the right place. I think the echo that should be resounding within your nation tonight, because I don't make foolish promises, I am very disappointed. And learning and hearing, I think now I will take it the next step. So I will say to you, I'll let you finish your program, but because of some of the things that were said here tonight, and because of what I do, I cannot continue the conversation with you this evening based on economics, because now this has taken me into another chapter and I have to do it in the right setting. And this would require some other things to be done. But to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, you have great people in your country. but you also have individuals who are corrupt. And there's no divide in this because it impacts whatever happens in decision-making later. I am scorned with sitting here and speaking to you tonight on an issue and hearing what I still don't know what's wrong with you, Marisha, but I know something went wrong. And I guess somewhere along the way I'll learn it because I've been so busy with other things. But sitting and listening to what's happening here and what will be foretold of the nation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Like I have said to the Virgin Islands with the Epstein case, that we will become the embarrassment of the world because the Virgin Islands settled an individual who is a pedophile who brought hundreds of young ladies to the Virgin Islands and raped the hell out of them. Now we have an issue. We have individuals in government who are stealing. And loving your people is one of the things that comes in a way where there's no heart that goes to see failure. I heard good governance, whether it was Harris or Drew, whoever. I heard good ideas, but I also have seen even more so corruption. So all these documents, when it comes to all the bank accounts and so forth, are presently in the Department of Justice. And the Department of Justice, with what's there today, with some of not only the MSR group that are whistleblowers, there are other whistleblowers, and there's some individual who are now standing up and coming forward and doing what's right. I pray that the government of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis do right by your people. First and foremost, I don't think anyone who elect anyone to serve and represent did it because they felt that the person or the individual wouldn't do what's right by them. I think it was more that they cared for the people and the people cared that they would do what's right, but things happen. But at the magnitude that we're speaking about, we're talking in excess of over $4 to $5 billion, not in one place, but throughout the diaspora. And those numbers are significant because when you look at an individual who is a certain age and the person have over $100 million and still in school, and you look at some of the other areas, individuals who will never work a day in their life and they have a $500 million stash here, and then you look at individuals who were the ex-spouses who have X amount and the brother of the ex-spouse have X amount. It just goes on and just the whole corruption part of it. But as far as leadership, if they were doing the right thing, what a gold mine these islands would be with the governance side of it, where the people have sustenance, economic booming that you could survive, and your economic infrastructure, because you have diversified your economy by bringing industries with the benefits of those programs that you had to do so. So Marisha, my brother, I don't know if I'll be joining on the program again for a little bit until some of these things are alleviated. I wish you Godspeed. I know that the people of the country admire and appreciate what you're doing. I pray in an abundance of fortifying the people of your nation for what's to come. I pray that everyone understand that this is not, I don't get into gossip and idiotic conversations. That's why I called it AG to turn myself in. When it was labeled that this is what this was, my only attempt was to bring the parties together to settle their differences. And when that failed, I think it was clear that if it is that some would fabricate, even as you know, during my campaign, I didn't spend one day on my campaign route. You know where I was? Investigating the corruption in the Virgin Islands. And you know what was happening there? Indictments were being issued. Indictments mean arrest. So I was so focused on cleaning the government so that people can have good governance. Good governance with a good infrastructure, removing the rotten eggs, the spoiled apples, so that people can live and breed. When you have seniors who are trying to live and have a meaningful life, and some parents and looking at their child, when a parent look at their child, when they got to feed them, and some parents turn to prostitution because they can't make ends meet. These are some of the things we remove ourselves from. There are parents who sit in the home worrying every night. How will they sustain their family? When you have individuals who have to kneel and beg and cry and beg, and what governance is that? So these are some of the things that I wish our leaders would look at and understand that you're dealing with the humanitarian aspect, not animals, and some people take care of animals better than humans. What about that? When you hear a person cry, and some cries, and a mother's cry at the death of a child is one that no man can handle. It's not something any one of us wants to go through. It's a scar in our community when these things happen. And we let it run, because when you have the wherewithal to bring in meaningful industry, you look at crime and how crime continue to permeate in our community. That's because we're not taking care of the social economics of our country. And the social economics comes with proper education, employment, and a trend of making sure that we have a handle on our healthcare and our people wherewithal, life sustenance. So I really thank you for having me tonight. The country will be hearing from me in short order. Like I said, everything that's being discussed here, that some may think is a joke, and some may think is something to play with. Like they did when I was speaking in the Virgin Islands about the corruption. He's talking nonsense. There's not one soul saying that anymore. People are beginning to feel the relief, and more of those who are afraid to talk is speaking. So I would say to the government officials of your nation, I am pleading with you. There's always a way to correct and reverse some of the things that was done. But it comes with your cooperation, or it will be done, and will be done, but it needs your cooperation to fast track and fixing it and make sure that these sustenance and dividends of what has been collected get to your people. So I know it's early and I'm gonna have to jump off because a lot was said, and now I have to go to work because I'm saying without blinking that I am, in fact, sorry, but in fact, justice will be done. So if you pardon my time this evening, Mr. Marisha, with you, I know that you will have to go into more, but because of what I've heard here, as I sat and listened very attentively to you and trying to put things together, what's going on? Trying to establish a discussion to be had, but all I listened to and heard was that there were some mechanisms that you and I had to sit. I know you're the one that got me engaged, but now I'm engaging you from another aspect where I have to sit down and take you through some the right way of having a discussion and some of the things that happen. So I wish you Godspeed. I wish the people of St. Kitts and Nevis Godspeed. I do love you. I do feel you. I do know that your leaders have the authority and the ability to do what's right. And I think in short order, by hook or crook, they say, things must be handled. Now, I would say to you, if there's a door for communication with the powers to be, I think you guys should get together and talk. I think there's still a way to fix and mend. I think there's a way of a common sense, men with sense, common sense, can sit and know what your vexing issues are. And you have individuals who come in and they call it a plea to come in and say, hey, I stole 10 cents or I did X, Y, Z, tell myself, and there's certain things that can be worked out, right? But if as it moves forward and goes into another chapter, it's not one of those things that says, well, there's the out. It's just going to be what it's going to be. So, but only because, and I apologize to your listeners and your viewers, only because of where this conversation went. And for what I'm hearing that came out of you, even more so, I have to say to you and the people, good night. I just don't want anyone to feel upset because we had a lot to discuss. But I really, really love the people of your federation and Caribbean diaspora. But I mean, I have family in St. Kitts. I have friends, people who have been around for years, and I've seen it. And I can see from where St. Kitts came to where it can be, where it can get you, and what it really is. You have people of good vibes. And I say to them, good night to everyone. And I just can't even get any further because then it takes into another category of discussion. So I bid you good night, Ms. Marisha, and to your listeners and viewers, I wish you Godspeed.
Thank you, Mr. Benta, for stopping by. So my good people, that was the man, Mr. Benta. And as you can see, I was trying to engage him in this conversation based on what is been circulating on social media of some accusation of being mercenaries and extortion. Because of the position that Mr. Benta is in, I understand that he would not be able, cannot have certain conversation publicly and may have to do some taking some testimony from myself. I understand that. But I can speak. They're speaking, so I can speak. I just want to inform the general public that while I was employed in the Ministry of Health under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister, I was contacted by various external news agencies in regards to the ongoing saga of the CBI. I explained to them at the time that due to my situation, I could not get into certain conversation. There's one particular newspaper, which is the London Financial Times. When I realized I was not giving up, even while I was in the UK for my sister's funeral back in April, they was reaching out to me. And before I left for the UK, actually, I had the opportunity to speak with Prime Minister Joe at his office. And some of the things that we discussed was the contact that has been getting from these external individuals. I also spoke to him about his statement that someone tried to shake him down for $40 to $100 million in his office, where I was present, which was untrue. I explained to him that I will not and I cannot support these kind of statements that I know is inaccurate, and I will not be a part of it. The Prime Minister said to me, Jeffrey, I just want this thing to die a natural death. I just want it to go away. And I explained to the Prime Minister that in as much as I want the same thing, the issue with the MSR media situation, no investor going to come in to our Bill of Federation, put out that kind of money and cannot get back their money. It's going to be a problem for the time to come until they get their money back. So why not sit with these people, whatever conversation you have to have with them, give the people back their money. Let them go. I'm not in a position to make that decision. That is up to the Prime Minister. Throughout the years that the Prime Minister has been in office, every time I get anything that I know going to be sensitive to the country or to the Prime Minister, I always present it to him. My words to him have always been, Mr. Prime Minister, you know, I got your back. I'm only a phone call away. That is nothing until yesterday. That have not changed up until yesterday, following his round table. So my final word to the Prime Minister prior to me leaving for the UK was, Mr. Prime Minister, I am not going to be a part of any cover-up. I cannot lie on behalf of stuff. That statement you made about somebody trying to extort money from you in your office in front of me is a lie, and I cannot support it. He said, Jeff Floyd, that's what I heard. I said, okay, if that's what you heard, you must know why you hear that. But I did not hear it. So since we are on different page, let me say this to you. If we're going to have a conflict with what I do on my podcast weekly, or whatever I am doing on my usual time, there's a very thin line between my podcast and my work for the government. Sometimes there's no line at all, I understand. But I cannot be misleading the people now. And come campaign season, I go back to them to tell them what? I have to be truthful to the people that I am representing. My online viewers have me here for a reason. They want the facts, they want the truth. I have to give it to them. I said, if you cannot handle that, feel free to invite me out the same way you invite me in, no hard feelings. He said, Jeff Floyd, there's nothing like that. I said, no, but I want you to understand that I understand the sensitive situation. If you cannot deal with what I am saying, I'm not going to be stopped doing the things I'm doing on my podcast just to accommodate a cover-up. I am going to dig, I'm going to investigate, and I'm going to bring the facts to the people. So if you have a problem with it, feel free to invite me out the same way that you invited me in. Well, some people had their stuff all over social media saying, I want to suck labor breasts. I try not to get individual involved and mix up in this conversation. But I created a post this morning, sometime this afternoon on my page, and I put on there the screen, the computer screen in which I went to view the documentary. And my message to the Prime Minister was just that. I went and viewed the documentary. The documentary is real, is not fake. It is there. It's very good, well put together. It's damaging. There are many citizens of our beloved federation is in that documentary. People are going to get hurt criminally. The country going to get a rough time. I don't want that. I encourage the Prime Minister to try and get a look at it before it's the public domain. So the information I got, that documentary was going to be released this week. My message to the Prime Minister, I don't think you have much time. Try and get to see that documentary. Well, just like what happened a few months ago in the US, when some news agency released that St. Kitts Nevis was on a list of sanctions. And the White House came back and said that that's not true. The matter was leaked, so naturally they're not going to act on it. They have to go back and regroup. Just the same, whoever listened to my interview with Mr. Martinez last night, when I messaged the Prime Minister, within 14 minutes of my message to him, as you guys could have heard, a series of text messages that he sent off to me. By the time he finished all of that, he went and posted something on his social media site. I am here relaxing. I got this call from Martinez, a text and then a call. Did you tell him? I said, tell who? Did you tell the Prime Minister you saw the documentary? I said, yes. He said he thought it was a secret. I said, I don't do secrets, Mr. Martinez. If I knew it was a secret, I wouldn't go and look at it. I am digging for the facts. You offered me to see the documentary. I went and I saw it. And I reach out to the Prime Minister like I always do. Anything that comes into me that is sensitive, I try to him. He is the man that's been paid the big money to make decisions, not Mr. Marisha. What really happened here, is that we walk around in St. Kitts with our eyes wide open shut. Anybody that knows me would know I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. I love to play dominoes. I love to hang around with the folks in the community. I have not been doing that much lately. I have been carrying around a lot of weight for this Prime Minister, a lot of weight for the country. So when I went and said to the Prime Minister, feel free to invite me out. It's been months I've been ready to leave, but I was not going to resign and give the fake news out there anything to say. I allow him to do his thing, but I cannot support around. And if you guys read that WhatsApp message, as I said last night, I told the Prime Minister I was not interested in anything. The then ambassador at the United Nations, St. Kitts Nevis mission to the United Nations, Ms. Dakwe, very nice lady. I met her through my campaign here in St. Kitts to get rid of the former administration. She was the National Secretary for the Labour Party. She knew my work. She asked if I could meet with her in Manhattan. I did that. She explained to me her appreciation and the Prime Minister's appreciation for my work during the campaign and what they can do for me or what I can do to assist with our federation. I said to her, Ambassador, I know there has been some rumors out there that I want to come to the mission to work. I have no interest in working at the mission. I explained to her my status. I explained to her my experience as a lead electrician from my previous employment, what I does in the institution, health and safety and otherwise, hazmat training, a whole host of stuff. She said, well, that might be helpful because the Prime Minister is in the process of getting the hospital, the JNF accredited, and maybe you can play a role in that. I said, if I can help there, I'll consider it. Following that conversation, there have been a series of meetings with me and the Prime Minister, people meeting me on the street, telling me, man, you work hard, you should get a job, whatever, whatever. The honest truth is, I knew that this day will come. I just did not expect that the individual that I put my life on the line for, take a knockout, sleepless nights for, will turn around and be so ungrateful and to do the things that he's doing and also embrace these mercenaries that I had to fight to get him elected to come now to destroy my character. Well, my people, as I said before, this was done in 22. It didn't faze me. And it's now again. But also, you know what really bothered me this morning? Because I gave a story some weeks ago about going to a Chinese store in St. Paul's, a Chinese supermarket, and heard a Chinese guy calling a young lady a bitch because there was some discrepancies over the baby taking up a candy, which he could have just give the kid the candy or ask the mother to pay for it. So when I'm hearing someone like Lavi Gums, who never had any good in her for Dr. Drew and Marsha Henderson, I had to represent them here against Lavi Gums during the campaign. I could recall vividly when Lavi Gums started on Marsha about the dress she wear at a meeting. I had to reach out and let Lavi Gums know, not that one. If you're going to go after Marsha, you're going to have to deal with it. Not that one. And she backed down. Lavi Gums is the one that was so bent on Dr. Drew not being qualified to be leader of the Labour Party, nevertheless Prime Minister. I never met Dr. Drew mother. Lavi Gums is the one giving me the whole story about Dr. Drew and his mother not talking and he was a Rasta and she don't want him to run in politics and all this kind of stuff. You know? I'm not going to come here and talk people business tonight, though they have my business on the road. I'm not going to get too deep into it. But I am just putting some information out there. Because the Prime Minister don't realize the people like Lavi Gums that he has embraced to be a part of this mercenary for the DJ. The DJ going to stand strong. When Sakwati went after me, and I decided to deal with Sakwati, Lavi Gums is the first person called me and invite me to do an interview on a podcast to try and get some followers, you know. And I wasn't going to do it. And she keep coming after me. And even when I gave her the opportunity to interview me, she don't even know how to interview. She wants me to talk 3 minutes and she talked 3 minutes. That's how interview go. I explained to her how interview go. It's recently Lavi called me and telling me how much she respects me and what I am doing and do not study Dr. Drew and he's selfish and he this and he that and whatever. The same Lavi Gums. It's the same Lavi Gums wanted to come on this podcast to malign her former child father, Michael Powell, because he's a child molester and how he ended up with her. I tell her I'm not into that. It's the same Lavi Gums called me a couple months ago that she was in Miami and she wanted to do a fundraiser for Elimat. And she wants to know if I can get involved. I explained to Lavi, I have no issue helping Elimat, but I have had my experience with Elimat, so I won't get involved. But whatever I can do to help Elimat, like any other one out there who need, I will. It's true that someone saw me in town and tell me about some club with some kids that are going to be traveling and they're doing fundraisers. Can I make a contribution? I told them, no problem. I'm going to leave a contribution by Carmen. Check her for the contribution. Now, I'm saying all of this because we have some politician out there that represent in these constituencies, you know. We got Ministry of Sports, Ministry of this, Ministry of that. They have constituency allowances. They get a 33% raise. We got prime ministers with whatever organization. Why do people feel so comfortable coming to the DJ for support, for sponsors, than going to their politician, their representative for things? Because they're not accessible. The DJ is accessible. I have yet to say no to anyone. And I'm going to say it this evening, you know. I want to thank people like Romeo Paris Pharmacy, Gloria Hutchinson, Smart Fit, Jeff Freights and Sons Enterprises in Molyneux, the Freights Bakery and Borio, Eustace Warner One Stop, Sadler Funeral Home, Jenkins Funeral Home. There's a couple of individuals. I don't know if they would really want me to call their name at this time based on the current situation. Island Purified Water, Mr. Powell, Tango, down there, Westbourne Gut. These are people that when folks come to me and ask for sponsorship, whether I have it or not, I never say no to them, because I can go to these people and get a little sponsor and hand it over to them. Let me not forget my boy DuPont, because the Talk Puppy, without me even asking the Talk Puppy for anything, my first experience with Mr. DuPont still sits with me today. I came down from New York one year. My brother Phantomus was alive. And him and I was talking about the elderly and the middle age and the seniors who want to do a little jam, can't jam to these nonsense on the road. Back in the days with Ellie Matt and Grand Dash Show and Dynamics and stuff, whatever. And my brother and I discussed the matter, and I decided to set up the jam on the road with all of Ellie Matt road marches. And it started off slow, you know. Started off slow. But before you know it, I had more people on the band them. And the thing about that, I am there doing my mixes, and I feel somebody knock me on my foot. And when I look around, it was the Talk Puppy. He got some 50s roll up. He pushed it in my hand. He said, help out to buy your gas. At the end of the route, when I was paying the guys, I realized that the Talk Puppy gave me $500 in total. He was the only person that paid something towards what I did that year. But the session was great. The Carnival Committee went on the following year to mandate that the bands play Ellie Matt songs in the last half hour of the Juve. Many of the bands decided they're going off the road. Some of the DJs are going off the road, they're not doing it. And that tradition fell off. I'm just giving you all a little history now. Because I hear last night, the barber man came here and social media trying to give my life history. Nobody knows my life history better than me. There's a young man online, for whatever reason, I do not know, of recent time, attacking me. I don't have a problem with him making comments, but the attacking, I have an issue with. We have to have a conversation. And I'm talking about someone like my good friend, Ivor Henry. I knew of Ivor Henry when he was a police here in St. Kitts back in the 70s. I was a little boy, he was a police. Ivor left and went to the Virgin Islands. I did not see Ivor again until I got caught up in the cricket business. He's in Florida, I'm in New York. I was the youngest person from the Leeward Islands to ever be elected to director of USACA, which is the United States Cricket Association. I represented the United States Cricket Association in the Northeast area from New Jersey to Boston. All of those leagues, I control them. World Cup 2007, when we had a US in the World Cup, it was this DJ was the director for New York. It was this DJ was the regional director for cricket when the first under-19 tournament took place for your soccer in Queens. This is the DJ that started cricket in the public schools in New York with work of a lot of people like Selwyn Caesar, Elman Harley, Krish Prasad, Ricky, what his name is there, Ricky Singh in Queens. A couple of people was involved in that group. We put cricket in the public schools in New York. That is what the DJ was doing, community work. Because of people, dishonesty and hungry for money and thieving money, when I left that position, it fell apart. I am the first person that put a reputable mass ban on Labor Day in Brooklyn for St. Kitts and Nevis. I understand that the Batty Boy say he was my vice president and I can't say where the money gone. The funny thing about it is DJ Marisha production, nowhere on my application, nowhere on my roster, you will find the Batty Boy, Jody Barber Mason name on my roster. Have never been a part of my organization. Melvin Herbert of Nevis have always been my vice president where cricket is concerned. DJ Marisha have always been a one-man team because for every organization I was a part of in New York, whether it might be St. Christopher Cricket Club, the Labor New York, all of these organizations in St. Kitts, in New York from St. Kitts, they always have confusion. Always politics. Nobody could come together and have one head. It's always some dissension. Some people taking ticket to sell and never return the money and them kind of nonsense. Me not have time with that. So the DJ decided to form his own organization, and I am a registered organization in the state of New York. He spoke about promotions. Well, every band here in St. Kitts, from the New Vibes to the Small Acts to the Grandmasters to the whoever, they can tell you their trip out of this federation to the US or the Virgin Islands, Canada, Miami, England, Texas, was yours truly who take them out there, give them a start. It was not always a positive thing, but I continue to try to promote this federation. Now, I don't really want to go back to this again, but I have to, because I want melee. And the melee seems to be what driving you all. Instead of dealing with the issues that these government of St. Kitts and Nevis is not doing right by its people. And when this young man gonna call them out, they distract. Instead of deal with the issue, they distract. And you guys are so happy to bury the DJ, or you turn to the melee and forget about what I am actually talking about. Now, I understand he spoke, which he did before, about me getting a $20,000 from the government for the Labor Day festivity. My good people, back in the days when Monarch and I was real brethren, I don't know if he can recall, because they too seems to have a little cloud these days. As a Calypsonian, Monarch benefited. So whenever I do anything for entertainment with the Calypsonians, you got on St. Kitts people like Sakoti, Monarch, Star Shield, Contender, those guys who can travel, they will travel out. And Nevis, you had the Miko, this and that, Astro. Out of Nevis still, but based in Connecticut, you have Chubby. The year when Pat won the crown in St. Kitts Nevis, I decided to do a Calypso show in the UK, Birmingham to be exact. And who did I take to the UK? the Mighty Pat, and the King Chubby. What a show, what a performance. Right? What a show, what a performance over there. Chubby, for whatever reason, not too into the performing, but he do his songs. There was another situation where I took my boy Ginger and Miko across to the Virgin Islands. That shouldn't turn out too well. I do not know why, because these guys are two good artists, but it did not turn out too well. It was them and imagination, Bryce. I have moved artists out of St. Kitts and Nevis because I had an arrangement with the Virgin Islands Carnival Committee that anyone that won the crown in St. Kitts, they will participate in the Virgin Islands. I had that going for a while until somebody screwed it up. I was able to book people like Panwis, Astro, Richie Bunting. Had good time down there, my boy Ranger and stuff like that. But let me go back to my boy Ivor. I'm gonna let him marinate for a while. Because like Mr. Benta just said, I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm gonna pick up the phone and call Ivor to find out exactly what the DJ have for him. Because my involvement with Ivor have always been positive. When it comes to the cricket, every year, we used to go to Miami to play cricket. Who was my point of contact? Ivor. We had some good times. The cameraman treated us well. When Sam Kanda asked me to go and find out where Elimat was when he was missing, nobody knew where to find him. Who was my point of contact to find Elimat? It was Ivor. Ivor knows my contribution, positive contribution. So I do not know if it's politics. I do not know if it's jealousy or what's going on with Ivor these days. But I don't have a problem with Ivor. Everybody have their shortcomings. There are some people that comes around and try to be friends, but it's not friends genuinely to do the right thing. It's to try and bring you down because you're moving too fast. I said that to say this. I came here Monday evening and I informed the general public that I'm no longer attached to the JNF. There are individuals reach out to me. Boy, how they could do you that? We got to talk. Since then, several messages come in, we got to talk. But today I am told that one of those same individuals, somebody asked them, why, how I could you demand that? And it was said, I bought it on myself. Hey, my good people, I don't want anybody to be worrying about the DJ. The DJ is okay. I don't have an issue with Dr. Joe or whoever made that decision to separate me from my place of employment. Because like I said, it was a burden, it was a weight on me to come here on a Wednesday evening, trying to talk the things and have to tip it to around what I have to talk about, which are factual. So when I woke up Tuesday morning, I felt so refreshed. I felt so relieved. I figured that was the end of that. Until I realized that these mercenaries is at it again last night. I was speaking about Lavia, you know. And Lavia gonna send a warning to you tonight, eh? You have always been respectful to me. You have always talked to me genuine and stuff like that. Sometimes you're a little bit off. So I am of the view that you are too short of a six-pack. So I treat you just like that. When you're on, I talk to you on. When you're off, I leave you off. Because somebody sent me some little video there with you in your bathroom with your pants down. Whatever you're doing in your bathroom, showing your behind. I don't know why you have to show your behind to the wall and carry on with all kind of nonsense. So I think you have a mental issue. I don't want to be the individual to come here and give you the lip that you deserve. And then I hear somebody say, you commit suicide. So I am not going to get into anything with you unnecessarily. But I'm going to give you this firm warning. I came into St. Kitts at the invitation of Prime Minister Joe. I thank him for the opportunity. The experience was good. I can recall at my first intervention at the JNF, the people that was in the room that I met with that morning, after we had a conversation, my last thing I said to them, I just want you all to understand something. The Prime Minister asked me to come to the JNF to do some work. That I will do to the best of my ability. I don't want to hear nothing about government headquarters or Church Street. I am not here to play politics. I'm not into that. Whatever politics they got down there, you all leave it down there. Don't bring it to me. And over the months that I was at the JNF, there were several days I expect to get my letter in. As I said on Monday evening, me and my boy Larry had a thing going for months. Every morning I stop by him on my way in. And the joke is that I'm going to see if my letter is up there. Because I know at some point what I am saying here and what the realities are going to be a problem. So I am happy for the separation. I am happy that I am out of that kind of situation. And I just want to say to the people that have been calling, I understand that you all are concerned about me. I am okay. I will be okay. So please do not stress about me. Let's focus on rebuilding our beloved federation, right? Let's not worry about the DJ. The DJ is okay. The DJ is doing well. I got good people around me. I have loving people around me. I don't take what decision was made by whomever personal. It had to happen. As long as the Prime Minister get back to his senses and understand that this is no reason for no attack. You invite me in, you invite me out, no problem. Now the next level is to see who we can put in this country to govern for the people of St. Kitts, not for a party. As I said previously, it appears as though the people gave a mandate to the Labour Party to run a country, but the Labour Party is actually operating from their mandate, and it's a fact. But there's no need for us to get personal, Dr. Joe. Timothy Harris and I did not speak for over 4 years. That was by his choice. He's now speaking to me again because he thought I should not have challenged him, and that is just his opinion. He said he know better now. Fine. There is no need for this charade and social media. Whatever you guys want to say about me is fine. My family, my friends, everybody know who I am. They have dealt with me. I'm a straight up guy. So, good luck. Now, one of the issues that we have, which I'm not going to stay away from, is this. And my people, I didn't realize time is so late. It's 7:43. But I have to get in this one. The situation with Concert was Lord Black. Today is the 14th of May. 14th of May will make 314 days since Concert Edward went missing. 314 days, almost a year. 279 days since he was found in a gut in Sadler's, dead. 267 days since his funeral. Over 35 weeks since the Ministry of Health received documentation. There has been communication with the Prime Minister, the CMO, the PS, and there's some promise that some regulations are underway. As I said previously, I will not be happy until I see something in writing. That's not going to change. The home where this young man was staying, I'm going to get back to that a bit later. because there are some things that I am waiting for from the police or the DPP. So I'm going to ease up on that for now until I get a little more information. My good people, I am not angry at anyone. I am good. I came, I did my time. I leave, I'm good. Just like we come into this world, we put in our time. Eventually, we pass on. The works continue. Let's not be misguided. Let's not be fooled with all this social media gimmick. We have a problem within our country. And we have to put this racism aside. This thing about black, white man and this kind of thing. Let's put that aside. Let's deal with the issues. Earlier today, I spoke to someone and they told me my aunt is upset with me because I made a statement on Monday evening. And if it's Monday evening or last night, maybe last night. And the statement I made was in regards to some folks online here in the chat was talking about the Mr. Martin is going and this, that. And all I was saying is that someone spent over $8 million US dollars in your country to purchase a hotel or to do business at the request of your prime minister. I am of the view that the government did not do right by this gentleman based on the information I received. And instead of the government handle the matter in a professional way, what they did, cut off the foot at the knees, and they expect the man to go quietly. I'm saying no, deal with it. And I referenced that I was in Kentucky. There's a young lady called for a breast in her order, a chicken breast. And she didn't get it. And when she checked the box, I didn't get it. She had the lady well cut off. I remember Mark Bantley talking about somebody not paying the social in Nevis. And they took the person to court. The lawyer fee was more than what the person owed to social. Similarly, in St. Kitts, I was told of people who did not pay the social that was charged and went to jail. One gentleman that they say who died recently experienced that fate. And I refer to our current AG. Because when the talk was out that he did not pay his nanny and all this nice, I said, man, the guy is a young man, he mean well, give him a chance. Everybody make mistake and whatever. But then through a video that I received with a judge speaking, it was more than one occasion. And I made the point that if our prime minister was any leader with a backbone, that AG would have resigned. I made the statement, the AG get upset with me, fine. But that was a fact. You got to lead by example. How are you going to have an AG commit a crime? He should be charged. He don't get charged. But you got people in his office that do whatever and they're sent to jail. They're locked up. They're charged. But the head of that unit commit crime and not charged. And the DJ is supposed to sit back and be quiet. I don't have a problem being the sacrifice lamb. I went to see the documentary that was created by Mr. Martinez. I didn't go there by myself. I am not going to be the person to come and tell you, the general public, who else was there with me. It's up to those citizens who want to give out the information. All I said to the Prime Minister is, look, the information is damaging, is supported by documents, and you need to try to get a look at it. I'll send you AG or your DPP, whoever. Let somebody go and look at it before you get to the general public. Fix it. Stop tearing down the country, man, to benefit who? I spoke to someone who is in Parliament, as a matter of fact, about the matter. And I said, what are you all doing with this thing? They got to protect Dougie. Well, who is Dougie to protect? What is about it to protect Dougie? Tell the people what is going on. What is to protect? Dougie said he's a Christian, he ain't do nothing wrong. Dougie put all kind of stuff on his Facebook page. Every morning, all kind of something up there. So I don't believe Dougie did nothing wrong. And if Dougie did something wrong, show me what Dougie did wrong. I joke around with Dougie all the time, yes. But it's a serious times now. It's about the country. If Dougie did something wrong, come to the country and tell the country what Dougie did wrong. This whole cover-up, and you're going to use the DJ as a scapegoat because of your cover-up, well, that's not going to happen, you know. That is not going to happen because I'm going to dig, and I'm going to dig deep. Mr. Prime Minister, I am saying to you again tonight, up until Monday, you have done well. You and whoever made the decision to make the separation, the DJ have no problem with that. I gave you my advice before. Feel free to do it. I don't have a problem with it. Do the work of the country that they pay you to do. That's what I'm asking of you. Do the work of the country. And in spite of what you all have done to me, if there's anything I can do for this country, I am only a phone call away. Let me repeat myself. In spite of everything that you all have done to me thus far, anything I can do for this beloved Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, I am only a phone call away. And with that, I just want to drop this track for your mercenaries and your politicians who think it's okay to mislead the people.
To see who they will crown as lion champion. Liars from all parts of the West Indies, big shot liars from all them foreign countries. From a field about 1,000 or so entry, in 2 days he boiled down and leave just 3. I had me eye on Liar the lion, because I know he does come with some good ones. But they had a younger fella named Debo, come from some village there in Tobago. He say his father is Tobago's best fisherman. Catch a fisherman wide 80 feet in span. He had to tight on the boat and swim back to land to get his brother Eric to give him a hand. You hear lie? That is lie. Lie? You hear lie? Teacher Pussy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die. Why, sir? Check it out. Liar the lion, he laughed till he sweat. He said, Mr. Depot, ain't say nothing yet. If you really want to hear about fishing, let me blow your mind. Now listen to something. When you're talking about fish, you just hit the spot. I was hoping you did believe it or not. The fish your father caught, to you it was great, but it's them small fish my father does use for bait. Lion went ahead on points in the show, completely eliminated Mr. Depot. The next man to beat was Willie Outrageous. He asked the judges if he could lie first. The judges asked Lion, the lion agreed. Say any topic we'll pick is alright with me. He outrageous, I strong, let we meet head on. And when we done, see who head fit to wear the crown. You hear lie? That is lie. Lie? You hear lie? Teacher Pussy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die. Let it go. Let it go. Shook it up. Yep. The outrageous say that he knew a a tailor comes to making suit, the man is the master. If you show him a man coming round a corner, he could make him a suit and don't even measure. I'm talking about suit, sitting down correct, expertly made and fitting perfect. He used to sew for Shakespeare, make suit for Hamlet, and up to this day yet make a mistake yet. You know the crowd went wild, they couldn't cool down. I say liar, the lion losing the crown. The judges brought the crowd back to order and asked the lion to lie about a tailor. He said, my man is the best, Rolf is his name. Cutting cloth, making suit is his game. Don't show him the man, my tailor is class. Just show him the corner where the fella pass, and he gon' make a suit. That is tailor, you hear lie? King liar.
Teach your pussy, say if you tell a lie, you go into hell as soon as you die.
Whip it up, pick it up, lay it up, move it up, let it go.
Teach your pussy, say if you tell a lie, you go into hell as soon as you die. Teach your pussy, say if you tell a lie, you go into hell as soon as you die.
So, my good people, as I come to the close of the podcast, I just want to point out some things to our beloved citizens online. Whether you love Marisha, hate Marisha, love the DJ, hate the DJ or not, let's deal with some realities. Under the leadership of this administration, the country is going to the dogs. And we need to stop, check, and turn around. Take a different road. Because if we don't, we're going to leave a country for the young ones to come. Now, if I can recall, our Prime Minister went to Turkey, I think, sometime twice last year. I don't know what he went there for because I didn't get any update on it. I don't know if he gave any update. But it's just in that Turkey revoked visa-free access for St. Kitts Navy citizens to Turkey. I don't know what's going on. All I want our ministers to do, you guys have been paid good money to represent us, represent the people. Because by attacking Marisha, would it get those smart homes, those 2,400 smart homes finished by the end of the term? By attacking Marisha, would it get the Bastia High School completed? By attacking Marisha, the infrastructure that need to be addressed, the water, the electricity and everything, would that be resolved? By attacking Marisha, will that hospital wing and Nevis get completed? By attacking Marisha, will the RLB get updated to where it should be? By attacking Marisha, will the current health system improve? Will the new smart hospital ever get off the way and will it ever complete? By attacking Marisha, will our electoral reform system ever done? Would it be ready for this coming election in the next 2 years? By attacking Marisha, does it make any citizen in this federation well off? By the barber attacking Marisha, did the wife take anybody off her back last night? Or from the time she take the man off him and she left? The man she have sit in his barber chair every week and get his hair cut. When I hear people talking about the barber coming after me, I have never have interest in his wife. The man Victor that got his wife sits in his barber chair every week, you know. He cut Victor here every week. So why is he attacking DJ? Does that give him back his wife? Does that give him back his family? I understand he's saying my family tell me don't talk about something and I talk about it. I want to thank him to confirm to you, the online viewers, that his father molested my 7-year-old sister at a very tender age. 7 years old, he was a grown man. because of the corrupt political system back then under Rapport Bratcher, where everybody championed as the best premier. That man should have been last in prison for life. But this man was able to come out of prison and end up in America. That's where he died not too long ago. And I don't want to talk about dead people. What is all you troubling me? Or you leave the DJ alone, let the DJ relax in his bunk and enjoy himself. Joe, I understand that you are damaged. Your father is who you are. You're a representation of your father. And when you're going to come to the general public and tell them to be aware of me, they need to be aware of you. And whatever they're doing, they don't have to sit in a shit, you know, because your mouth smells worse than shit. You are a stinking batty boy. They say a woman deserves a good body. That I believe in. You're not getting my body. I don't go that way. Big man. So I'm sending a final warning to you now. Because you don't understand that the person that you know me to be, I'm the same person today. The person that you know me to be is the same person you know today. You will not see me coming, but you will feel me. Find out who Jobeni and Clemmy is. They're dead gone, but they are still in me. A word to the wise Joe. The father was such a worthless man, you know, just like you. That's where you get it from. Your father was such a worthless man that his woman, his girlfriend that he lived with, left Shanice with him to take care of, you know, and moved to the UK. The same niece that your father is supposed to take care of, you know. He breed her. That's how you are here. So you're a disturbed child as well. I'm telling you, you are a disturbed child as well. Because your father was a slack, loose, nasty man. And he produced something worse than him. I have met your father in person on numerous occasions. And though I knew what he did to my sister, I always show him respect. But you are coming on social media attacking the DJ. Don't expect I would not respond. Or you don't trouble me if I don't want me to respond to you. I am capable. And I can do it 25 times over. You all are lucky to get away with stuff because I have people in my life that I respect. I want to show them the adult side of me, the respectable side of me, because I've come a long way. You talk about some man hitting the head with a hammer. Tell him it's your cousin. Your bad boy drunken cousin. We were having a fundraiser at the Parkside Plaza to send money to St. Kitts after hurricane. We are raising funds to send money to St. Kitts after hurricane. Lennox Leibel of Keon, Trevor Isaac of Keon, and Sherland Williams from Bar City, the cricketer. I am the one who was in charge of the place. Them boys, they're having their drinks and whatever, and they're gone up there doing the nonsense, and whatever Sherland or Trevor said to them, the drunken boys start throwing battles at them. All I did, I went over to the gentleman and said, listen, people are in the place. You try and battle at these guys. You could cut innocent people, and if you break those chandeliers, I have to pay for it. The man look at me and give me a box across my face. Well, the DJ just play music, the DJ don't fight. And the lick I get was so hard, I don't think I could have hit him back as hard as I could, as he hit me. I went looking for something to put out his light because any fight I get into should not last no more than 30 seconds. And I searched all over the place, could not find a piece of 2x4. I found a little hammer. I sure the hammer might not have been about 2 ounces or whatever it was. But I found what I could have find. And when I came after him, he stopped me. So it's just a little bruising he got when he fell down. It's after the event I realized I could have been gone to jail for murder. I was a very ignorant young man in my time. I don't take shit from nobody. I am a mature adult now. You all know what I'm capable of. Do not put me back in that position. I am capable. I got people who love me. I got people who I love. I got a little baby girl I have to be there for. So, if all you want to know is water, what got pumpkin belly, or how water get into watermelon, or you keep coming. Because the DJ will not stand by and accept no kind of disrespect from anyone, no matter who you are. So all you continue all your work. And I want to say to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, I am here for the long haul. I ain't running nowhere. You can find me right here in my bunker. I am here for you, the people, and I'm going to demand what they ask me to do. Honesty, good governance for the people of St. Kitts and the country, the island of St. Kitts and Nevis. So, with that, let me drop my ad and get out of here.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marishall's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marishaw, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Log on.
Yes, man, you heard it right. DJ Maurice is here each and every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. And now that I got more time on my hand, I can be here at any time. So look forward to that bell. When that bell drops, you know the DJ is ready to rumble. So until such time that we do that, my good people, I'm going to drop this track by the late great King Arrow. This one is called Arise. And my good people of St. Kitts Nevis, the call have never been louder since the last 24 to 48 hours for me to get into elective politics. And based on what I said took place yesterday, if I am not yet decided to get into elective politics and have to go through this, well, if I'm going to do the crime, I might as well, if I'm going to do the time, maybe I should do the time. So I am going to speak to my people. I am going to speak to the people I need to speak to. And maybe, just maybe, you will see my name on a ballot in the upcoming election, because the people and God, they will have the choice. And if the people serious, DJ Mauricio will stand and raise my hand and ensure that you get proper representation. That is what life is about. Step up when you need to for the people of St. Kitts Nevis.
unification, building a brand new nation. We move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours. Can your conscience be clear? Indulging corruption or misusing public office, being accused of unemployment and crimes, or disrupting a citizen's peace. Oh, my country in this harmony, separated politically. Hatred for a brother, cannot love each other. No, I say no, potato. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct all mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We'll move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Yes, my good people, and as we come to the end of yet another successful event, DJ Maurice Experience is now 8:15 p.m. and a lovely Wednesday evening, May the 14th. I look forward to seeing you back here next Wednesday, same place, same time.